All right, we are on. Oh, this is such a treat. I am super excited to do this. This is the first time I get to do this. And today we're going to have a short interview with one of my favorite agents, Kathy Tran. She's our buyer specialist here at INTI Realty for the last few years now. She's going on to her third year with us. And you know, we right now here at our team are looking for our third musketeer for our sales team. And we thought that this would just be so great to put it out there for all agents who perhaps have been in Kathy's position before. And we really want to share with you her trajectory here at our company, at our small SEAL team. So, Kat, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
This is so cool. And at the same time, you know, so uncertain, right? Where it's like such crazy times that we're going through. And, you know, I'm hoping that everybody's safe out there. Everyone's healthy. As you guys can see, we're working remotely from our homes. I'm at the office. Kathy's over at her new property that she just purchased, but that's a whole nother conversation. So let's get right to it, Kat. You've been an agent for how long again?
Oh gosh, in total, I'm actually coming up on year number 3.
That's right, year number 3. Wow, okay. So just for a short backstory, I actually met Kathy doing a transaction with her. You know, and every time I do a transaction with an agent, it's always really, really nice when it goes smooth or when both agents are really working together towards the same goal. So it was really awesome to meet her. We conversed a little bit, and shortly after that, I absolutely knew that she would just come right into our culture and just fit right in. And it's been amazing having you, Kat. It's been awesome having you as our team member.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay, let's get right to it, Kathy. Why don't you share with us your experience? Tell me a little bit about what your experience was and the difference going from a big box franchise real estate company to coming to our small team here at INTI.
Oh gosh, trying to place myself back in the shoes of where I was when I started. It's crazy because I think that feeling of being overwhelmed is probably the easiest thing that comes to mind, because think about it. You take your real estate exam, then you pass. Now you're left to really figure out like what team or company you want to be a part of, but you're so like, you don't know what you don't know. So when you're so early on in that phase of your career, like, honestly, the reason why I chose that company was because it was like the closest one to my house. Like, that was the reason why I chose it, and that they weren't charging me like a desk fee. But you know, I was always motivated. Like, I door knocked for 2-3 hours every single day. We had weekly meetings at the office. You know, I went and door knocked even like on Saturdays too. So for me, I was always very a self-motivated person, and I saw the trajectory of some of the top performers like in the different offices, and I was like, wow, like I want to get there. So I just kept doing more of what I knew to do, which was just to door knock, right? But the thing that I don't think people realize is I had training in the beginning. Like, the company had offered training on all the paperwork. They offered, you know, like, here's a system for you to put in your like CRM, but they never really like showed you how to utilize it. So in the beginning, all my prospecting was on an Excel sheet. I remember I would door knock for 3 hours, go back to the office, write my cards, and I would track like each individual person in my own Excel sheet, because that was the only thing that I felt comfortable.
Okay.
So imagine like someone that is so hungry for it, and like is trying her best really to take stabs at different things, because you don't really know what you're supposed to be doing. So I think.
So wait, so that's really interesting that you just said that. So you don't really know what you're supposed to be doing. So did going to that company, to the big box company, I mean, did you have a schedule? Were they able to like show you that? What was that difference?
I mean, they told you what ideally you should be doing, right? But no one's checking in on you. No one is asking you at the end of the day if you actually did knock on X number of doors per day. Like, no one, they kind of told you what you were supposed to do, and then you were just left to go do it.
Left alone. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So then what was that big difference? What from the experience that you had there where they gave you a lot of, you know, the some of the contract training, right, to understand the contract, and going from there to now going into a small team?
And you know, when I first got my license, I remember I met with about 5 or 6 companies because I wasn't sure what the difference was between each one. And I remember one of the things I thought was the right thing to do was to go with a bigger company because of their name, because people knew them.
Okay.
Quickly realized that you're just kind of a number. You're one person in a sea of people.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I craved so badly, and I really wanted to do it, was to have like that mentorship and to like actually shadow someone. And I wanted someone to correct me right then and there if I was doing something incorrectly or if there was a way for me to do it better.
Got it.
And you don't know what you don't know. So I didn't know that I could have been doing things more efficiently and more effectively.
Okay. So coming into our, you know, our team here, what was that difference?
Oh, that's like day and night. I mean, I remember, and the reason I gave you the time of day was, like I said, like I told you this in so many times before, Gia, where it was like I never really thought like I was trying to leave the company I was with, right? But the fact that I was craving so much of that one-on-one, like detailed attention, and you just kept following up with me to my point where it was like, you're the broker and owner of a company, yet you had time in your day to make it a fact that to follow up with me every single day. It really piqued my interest because I knew that you were someone that had to run a business, and at the same time though, like you made it a point to show me, not just tell me, but really show me that I could be getting that one-on-one, like mentorship, accountability, making sure I'm on a schedule like that really was the reason why I was so intrigued.
Okay. So and then intrigued, and you made the move, which I love that you were so bold to make the move, even though, you know, it hadn't even crossed your mind, like you said. So now you come in, right? Let's just go back 2.5 years ago when you joined us. What was it like? What was that, you know, you say day and night, what were those things that were just really different?
You know, there was a very strong sense of almost like a tight-knit community, like a culture almost, that you don't feel when you're part of such a big sea of people. And I felt like going back to like the original broker I was with, right? My mentality was like, okay, I have to go into the office every day, but it was like a mentality of like going into work, and I was just there to work, and then I would go home. And I remember when I joined like a smaller team, like the one that we're in now, it wasn't just about going to the office to like make my calls, track my, like do all of that, but it was so much more than that, right? It was like people that I actually know and want to spend time with outside of our hours. Like for us to have client appreciation events, like
we have a lot of fun. We do have a lot of fun.
Like that is, and that really is that pride of like saying like, hey, this is my team. Like I can list like the people in our office and like tell you about them, tell you their stories, tell you about how we know each other. And that says a lot to, especially when you're meeting with people that you may not have met before, when you're helping them with such a large investment of their life, that bonded feeling of being part of a team. And when you can speak very highly of the people that are your support system in our office, right? That gives me the ease of mind to actually meet with someone face to face and be like, we got your back. It's not just me. I got my ladies that holds down the fort. Like, this is exactly the structure that we're gonna do, and this is exactly what to expect.
Love
so that team environment goes beyond like the technical aspect of it.
Yeah, and it's very different because when I mean, I remember when you were in the other company, you're the solo agent, right? So you weren't part of a team.
No.
And coming into a team atmosphere, into a team environment, you know, I mean, you said it, like the support that we all give each other, right? It just feels like they got my back, exactly that. So that's awesome. That's super awesome. Yeah. So yes, we have a lot of fun. We absolutely have a lot of fun. But you know, from a lot of fun, we also have all these things that you've really embraced, right? You've really embraced being consistent and following exactly how we do it here. How does that feel for you?
It keeps you focused. I think one of the hardest things for me before joining a team was like the lack of accountability, because when you get to a point where you feel confident that you're doing it the max like level of your own performance that you think you're doing, but you're really not, you get really complacent, you know? And it's like, the one thing that I really value joining part of a team, like the things that we speak about is you make me have clarity with what my goals are for this year. And it's a goal that actually gets broken down into steps and reverse engineering of like, okay, so you want to be able to like pay off your student loans. Well, let's go backwards. And for you to actually show me like, okay, Kat, like you actually have to make X number of calls every single day to get to this number to then get to your goal, right? There was no, like the thought of me accomplishing such big goals like that when I was a solo agent, there was no way I would have, those were just dreams.
Yeah.
Far off in the future somewhere.
And we got really granular with it, and getting really granular with it, you know, sets that fire, right? Because you're like, wow, you're seeing the little tiny differences that you have to make every single day or every single week, or however it is, and the habits you got to get used to, and you're able to track it, like you see it, right? It's like, oh, it's there. So it's awesome that you've been able to really just embrace everything, embrace the systems, the processes, the way we do it here, and which is awesome.
And I will make a note, like those like things that you work on consciously every single day, that carries over into like your personal life, and that holds you accountable for your own things outside of those work hours too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Do you feel you've changed a lot as a person in the last 2.5 years?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot much more I've learned about myself. There's setting of boundaries, that non-negotiables, right? Like focusing on what your top priorities are, and then everything else kind of comes secondary. If it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. Like,
exactly. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so I gotta know, and we'll share with everyone too, what's your favorite thing that, you know, favorite tool that now you're using, okay, now at INTI, that you didn't use before, that, you know, has been a game changer for you? What's that one thing?
Oh, like hands down, like what we're doing now, videos. Like,
yeah. Nice.
Hands down, like I can't tell you, I don't know where I would be today if I wasn't not only introduced to videos, but actually like executing and doing them like on a consistent basis. That has changed my whole life.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so how so? How, just share, how has it changed it?
You know, it's interesting because it's just a way for you to connect with someone. I strongly believe we're not in the business of selling houses, guys. We're in the business of nurturing relationships and becoming like more than a real estate agent to someone. At least for me, at least the team that we are a part of is way beyond that. And so videos for us, it's like reaching out to so many people, putting a face to the voice when we speak to you on the phone, like
Yep.
showing you that we're real human beings as well. And like that feeling, like I'm sure you hear it all the time, where we do so many videos for us to like launch properties and to like launch events, and then you have people coming up to you all the time and they're like, hey, you're the gal that's like in that video.
That are all
That's
those
like,
videos.
it's an awesome feeling to be able to connect to so many people at once through video.
Yeah, and it absolutely makes you more valuable, right? So, so any agent, our third musketeer that will join us, must do video. Just saying, must do video, right, Kat? Must do video.
And hey, if you're terrified to do it, that's okay. Like, we all started somewhere.
Yeah, we were all terrified at once, right? But we really support each other, and the synergy that we have, it's like you just go for it. So super cool. Yes, I love video too. I totally love video.
Yes.
And you know, right now, I know, right, because I'm always looking at what other agents are doing, right, especially here in our community in Long Beach. And one of the common denominators that I've found is that a lot of agents, especially the newer agents, they're building themselves, right, building their business, and they may just not have that clear picture of like, okay, where do I go for business? Like, right? Like, do I only talk to the people that like, you know, that are my sphere, my friends, my family, like where else? So I'm curious, was one of the reasons why you joined INTI, was one of the reasons because of leads?
You know, that never crossed my mind at all. Like when we first started talking, when you were introducing me to the team, like that never crossed my mind when I was a solo agent, like the thought of getting more leads.
You weren't seeking additional leads. Were you giving leads? I mean, were they giving you leads over at the company?
I mean, I want to say yes. And at the same time, it's like, even if they were leads, it was just like, oh, okay. So now I remember, because I'm trying to remember. So their version of giving us leads was us volunteering to sit at the front desk for a couple hours.
Oh, okay. How did that work out?
I got a lot of work done.
Work in terms of like talking to people?
No, and this is like this is why it's so important to just want to do your research. I mean, if you want to be part of a team that's actually growing and like just being innovative all the time, like the fact that they thought that giving us some front desk time was really an efficient use of leads, to me is so mind-blowing, because I'm like, do people still walk? And I'm sure people do, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Very, very slim chance someone's going to actually walk through those doors.
Yeah, I mean, they got this now. Why would they do that?
Exactly. So that really gives you an idea of like some of these bigger companies are really far behind when it comes to like being tech savvy with where we're at right now.
Right.
As a consumer.
Right. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So desk time, that was a lead.
Desk time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But coming over here, that really wasn't like, didn't really cross your mind?
It didn't cross my mind, and I didn't realize. Here's the thing though, because now that I'm part of a team that has actually shown me how to convert the right way, even if I was given a handful of leads over at my old company, there is no way I would have known how to convert them, if that makes sense.
Ah,
right?
And converting, you mean like from someone you're speaking to an actual client?
From someone that I'm just speaking to actually like showing properties, but not only that, for them to actually get pre-approved and then actually trust you with the whole process from start to beginning.
Right. Okay.
That relationship.
Okay. All right. Got it. Yeah. And and it's really great that you have really built your skills. You've embraced building the skills with everything that we've taught you. to have this organic way of just really connecting with people, because you really do. You really connect with people. And I know that it's been a combination of absolutely everything that we've poured together and everything that, you know, that you've embraced, but it's a lot of it also has to do with you working, you know, and with you putting your working boots and saying, and rolling up your sleeves and saying like, all right, I'm being taught all of this. Let's do it. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
And like, it's like, you have to set yourself with the expectation of like, I'm going to fail.
Yeah.
Like that's inevitable. Like if you're scared of failing, then real estate may not be the business you should be in.
And the phone, right? Like if you're scared of the phone too, like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but don't get me wrong, I was terrified of the phone when I first joined, right? How long did it take for me to actually be like consistently calling and not about to cry? I mean,
right. Yeah. And now it's like you love it. It's how can you not? Right? That's where you connect with people, that you connect with people on the phone. We connect with people on video. I love it. Well, I'm excited. I am super excited to see, you know, who our next team member is going to be. But in closing, I really just want to share that, yes, I agree. You are, you know, from the moment I met you until today, Kat, you are a different person. You really are. And just seeing that you've reached every milestone you really set your heart and mind to has been an honor. It really has. It's amazing. So I really want to share with everyone watching, and thank you everyone for watching, that Kathy's going on her 3rd year with us. And she joined us in probably the beginning of July of 2018. And the beginning of July of 2018, Kathy had already closed 3 transactions with the older company from January 2018 until she joined us. And the moment that she jumped on into our team here at INTI, she was able to close from July until December 6 additional transactions. That's double. 6 transactions in the same amount of time, right? Even less than half a year. And I remember that when you came on, Kat, one of your biggest goals that year, and I mean, this is only, you know, less than 6 months. You're talking about 5 months that you were going to be putting in the work as you were getting trained, as we were, you know, practicing every single day, right? One of your goals, I remember, because you wrote it up, right? Because all of our goals are written up. Yeah. You wrote, I'm going to pay off all my student loans. And I thought that was bold. I thought that was amazing. And at the same time, I got to tell you, I thought it was a little bit like, gosh, it's only like 5 months that she's going to be here. You're going to pay her student loans? And you paid your student loans that year. You paid your student loans at the end of 2018. And I remember that, you know, you like erased it from the white wall that we had, right? And you checked it as you did it. And 2019, right, your goal was, I'm going to become a homeowner. I'm going to become the homeowner of my first house as a single woman. And that's how I'll own title. And today, Kathy, where are you sitting?
I am sitting in my new house.
You are sitting in your new house.
You know, it's actually funny that you bring up the whole timeline, because looking back on the papers I wrote, I actually gave myself through September. Because you know how you like, we're so big on clarity. So you were telling me like, set yourself up not only with that goal, but like when you want it by. And I wrote on that paper, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could do it. So I wrote September 2020.
Wow.
And I closed escrow in March. So
that's amazing. That is amazing. So proud of you. And it's in such a short period of time, because I know that 2.5 years ago, when you joined us, there is no way that you would have been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy a house in like 2 years.
No way.
Yeah, exactly. No way.
Yeah.
Amazing trajectory. So Kat, in closing, what would you say to any agent right now that's watching this interview, that's watching us just share your whole story, your whole trajectory here? What would you say to someone who was in your position you know, who is today in the same position that you were about 2.5 years ago?
You know, if you're someone that is self-motivated and you are not afraid to try new things and you have really big goals for yourself and you actually believe in yourself, we might be a match. We might be a match.
I love that. Yes,
Yes.
I love that. Absolutely. Yeah. So we hope to meet that third agent that's going to be joining our team. We're super excited going into, you know, finishing up this year. It's, even though it's such uncertain times, we've slowed down in the timeline that it's to close a transaction, but we're still selling. Right? We're still out there. Kathy's still showing properties. I'm still speaking to sellers every single day. We're doing a lot of this virtually. And so one of the things that we know that we have to continue to do as the SEAL team that we are is innovate, right? We have to innovate and we have to keep being super, I mean, way ahead of the game, which I love that we all embrace that here at our team. So thanks, Kat. That was so much fun. Thank you so much. And I'll see you later on our calls.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.